Hello, everyone. Today I will be talking about what we are doing with week 2. So if you go to our web courses, then you go to week 2, you can see the week 2 checklist. And everything in this checklist is also under the week 2 module. So let's start first looking at an overview of the checklist. First of all, I want you to watch this video, which will walk you through the week. I have had some people email me saying they didn't have access to the video from last week, which I made public. And then when I asked if that was still the case, I didn't hear back. So I will post a note here that if you are not able to view this video, that you please email me, because it is important that you watch the videos along with reading the content of the webpage. So first, watch this video. Second, you're going to read the article, The Rhetorical Situation and Its Constituents by Grant Davies, and there's a link to that here. Then you're going to complete the discussion board about that reading. Fourth, you're going to read another article about responding to student writing. This is to prepare you for your peer review. And then next, you're going to look, and that will give you an idea just to some things to think about as you're writing and preparing to read your peers' essays. So next, I want you to review the comparative analysis assignment. So please read through this carefully. Make sure that when you have a question, you look back through this assignment sheet carefully to see if your question is answered there. Now, if you do have questions, please post them in this comparative analysis assignment questions discussion by Thursday at midnight. That I prefer for you to post, and this will be the case with your other assignments as well, I prefer for you to post your questions here and with enough time ahead of time for me to answer them. Please don't email me Sunday night before the draft is due asking questions. Again, review your assignments earlier in the week. And also, it's easier for me if you ask a question in this discussion post and I can answer it there. That way other students who have similar questions can look there first. So I'm not responding to the same question in 5 different emails, if that makes sense. So, and then lastly, you're going to complete the discussion board. And what you're going to do here is first you're going to post, well, actually, we'll talk about that in a second. I'm going to get to it in a second. So let's go back to modules so we can get through what each of these are asking of you. So first you have this reading by Keith Grant Davies and then the discussion for that. So if you look here, this reading talks about the rhetorical situation. So I want you to carefully read through this and make sure that you understand the terminology that is being used here. That way, as I continue in the course, when I discuss audience or exigency, you know what I'm talking about. So I assume that you've read this, you complete this response to it. Therefore, in the future, when I discuss these terms from this article, I assume that you understand what I'm talking about. So when and if you don't, please post that either in your discussion or in an email to me or something you can bring up to your peers. So you can see here the instructions ask after reading the article for you to review the 3 food blogs that are here and answer these questions. Okay, so that's what you need to do for this this discussion post. Okay, let's see. And it, like most things, that's due Sunday, July 9th, and that's worth 5 points. So let's go ahead and look at your comparative analysis assignment. So you can see here, this analysis is evaluating how writers communicate and persuade audiences. So first, I want to talk a bit about what exactly analysis is, right? Because I think sometimes when I ask students to write an analysis paper, what they end up writing is a summary. And especially in this case, because you're going to be working with 2 articles, I don't want a summary of the articles, right? So when we're thinking about a rhetorical analysis, in this case, it's more of a comparative rhetorical analysis. What I'm asking you to do, an analysis, is to pick apart the pieces of a thing, right? So I'm asking you to look at these two articles and pick them apart to show me how the writers communicate and persuade audiences. So considering that, I'm asking you to write a 5-page essay, which is pretty short considering that I'm asking you to analyze 2 articles, right? And very briefly, I want to state my viewpoint about page requirements or length requirements. The length requirements I give you in this course are not set in stone. It's not like I will see a 4-page essay in this and automatically grade you down for that. However, I give you length requirements because I believe that is the length that will effectively allow you to complete what is being asked of you. So do not think of 5 pages as, filler. I'm not saying you cannot effectively complete this assignment in less than 5 pages, but more than likely it will take you about 5 pages to do what I'm asking of you. So keep that in mind. Again, you are not automatically deducted points off if you don't meet the 5 pages. However, it is what I believe will allow you enough space to do what's being asked of you. What often happens is, say I give you a 5-page requirement and someone turns in 3 pages, usually my feedback happens to be you need to elaborate on this analysis. Had you written, had you fleshed out your analysis, this would have been a better grade. So keep that in mind. That's my viewpoint on length requirements. So you can see here, I'm asking you to choose 2 articles, right? Your choice on one given subject. Okay, so both articles have to be about the same thing. And I'm asking you to examine how the writer uses rhetorical strategies, right? The things you can point to that they are doing to communicate their knowledge and persuade their audience. Okay, so how to approach this assignment. First, you want to make sure that you've read and understood Grant Davies' article. Again, are you clear about the vocabulary and what he's talking about? Select a topic that interests you. So think about something that's ongoing, something that's current, right? Also, something I just want to point out is you also don't want to pick a topic that's pretty redundant. Maybe like a controversy that is, in my opinion, a moot point, or that has been written about extensively. For example, abortion control, legalization of marijuana. These types of things don't produce really great analyses because they've been written about extensively, so with no changes or resolution. So I suggest something that is current, interesting to you, possibly has something to do with your major area of study. There's some recommendations for where to look here. And if all else fails and you have considered a topic you're not sure, email me. Ask me if this topic is okay, or send me links to the articles to double check with me if you're unsure. Make sure the articles are comprehensive and are written by experts in the field. So I suggest you look to a couple different places. I don't want you pointing to like some Joe Schmo's blog or a popular magazine website or something like that. Think about credible, knowledgeable resources, okay? So as you are constructing your analysis, here's some things to consider. I'm not going to read through them. I will let you read through them, but it's all about the rhetorical situation, understanding how the author is expressing their or making their points, how they are being persuasive, through what appeal. So you want to think about, when I say strategy, it's something specific you can point to, right? So, for example, statistics is a strategy, rhetorical strategy that's used to appeal to logic, right, to logos. Narrative, maybe a single person story, might be an appeal to pathos, right, emotion. So again, you're not going to tell me in your analysis, you're not going to point to, oh, they use pathos. No. You're going to point to the strategy. So that's something specific. You're going to say they use so-and-so story, this narrative, to appeal to pathos. Here's what they do to make their point. Or they use statistics from this or that in order to persuade their audience through logic, right? So again, you're discussing how this writer achieves their goal. So putting this together, decide on your audience, specific audience, right? It's not going to be everyone. And the more specific you are about your audience, the better. Keep that in mind. Adults 18 to 24 doesn't make any sense. If you're writing in English, it's probably going to be people who can read English, right? If you are talking about U.S. society, you don't want to use stuff like us unless your audience are U.S. Americans. So again, specific for your audience. Think about how you want to compile your comparison. By this I mean organization, right? So how are you going to present what it is that you present your analysis so that it's not just a report, right? So think about providing a claim. Here's a strategy that this writer uses. Providing support, point to something that they're using, and then your explanation of that, right? Here's how this functions to appeal to someone's emotion. So you want to create one overarching theme, right? So think about, this is basically a thesis statement. Here's how this article effectively does what it wants to do, right? Effectively reaches its audience. Also, yeah, you're more than welcome to discuss maybe both articles use similar strategies that work well and similar strategies that don't work well. Maybe both of them use statistics and it works well in one and it doesn't work well in the others because they use different audiences or they're appealing to different audiences, right? So again, consider how you want to construct this analysis. So lastly, be sure that you're evaluating how each article makes its points, right? Don't provide a summary of the article. You are providing links for me, so don't spend your time summarizing this. I can go through and skim the article myself. Point to how it's functioning and explain how that's functioning. Pick apart the way the writer has constructed this. So for the formatting, follow MLA. If you're not going to use MLA, that's totally fine. Please, and really, I prefer if you use a different citation style in your major, use that. The more practice for that for you is better. Just identify in your cover letter that you're not using MLA and tell me what you are using. Whether you're going to use, Tarabia in Chicago, AMA, APA, whatever you prefer, okay? If you have no preference, use MLA. I want you to use the cover page. Here you'll have the title, name, date, links to each of the articles, and if you're using a different citation style, that as well. As far as the title of your essay, think about the reason we have titles. It's to know what this is about. So if you title it comparative analysis, I know it's a comparative analysis. That's what I'm asking you to do, right? But maybe it's a comparative analysis of how experts discuss fill in the blank, right? Or analysis of how experts use statistics and narrative to, achieve some end goal, right? Make it specific. Let me know exactly what it is I'm going to be reading about, not just an analysis, because I know that. Obviously, if you paraphrase or quote from your articles and or from our class readings, you need to use proper in-text citations, and you need to use a works cited page, right? So I assume you will be at least quoting or paraphrasing the articles that you are discussing, right? You want to point to some examples of like your analysis, and you may want to reference, Grant Davies' article or something else from that we have read in this course. So you will need a works cited page or references, depending on the citation style that you use. So I think that's it for an explanation of this. Sometimes students have a difficult time with rhetorical analysis because I am asking you how the writer presents what it is they're talking about. So if you have questions about that, you're unsure, please let me know. Again, you can post comparative analysis assignment questions in this discussion board. It's open till Thursday night, so I have time to respond to you. Here's your reading. Actually, we don't need to open that because your response is this. So this is about responding to student writing. Some things to think about when completing your peer review, and then you will actually complete a peer review. So you can see here, you'll post a draft of your analysis here. And so after you post your draft by Sunday at midnight, you'll read the draft that's posted directly below yours. Okay, that should be fairly easy. Therefore, everyone else completes a peer review. However, you have to have your draft posted by Sunday at midnight. If you post it any later, no one is required to peer review your draft. Okay, and you won't get points for that part, for this whole part of it, right? So I have questions I want you to think about, and then I want you to make comments and post answers to this for your peer review. So again, you're reading as a reader, not a grader, right? I'm the one who grades. So think about as a reader whether what they have written about is clear, whether it's engaging, whether you understand it, and whether they provide support for the claims that they're making. So here I have your response should be about 400 words. Your response is due by Monday at midnight. Now it's important that you stay on schedule because then they have a day to, your peer has a day to revise their draft and submit it by Tuesday at midnight. Now I am going to say, this is important, that I'm going to go ahead and push back this due date and give you an extra day. So it's going to be due Wednesday at midnight. And the reason for that is because I'm just now posting this video and I want you to go through and watch it and have time to review and read and make sure you're where you want to be with that comparative analysis. So what that means is your full draft of it is still due Sunday night. Your peer still needs to respond by Monday night. You just have 2 days to revise it. So instead of having 1 day, you have 2. So I'm bumping that final due date back 1 day. Okay, I will make note of that and change that here, but that's really important. So that's it for this week. If you have any questions, let me know. All right. Happy 4th of July. Hope y'all are enjoying some of your summer maybe. And yes, please be in touch and let me know if you have any questions about this assignment. It is a quick turnaround time because it is asking a very quick, brief analysis of you, especially considering that it's only 5 pages and you are analyzing two articles. So keep that in mind because we do need more time to work on the next 2 assignments are going to be a little bit more lengthy. You only have 3 total large assignments over these 6 weeks. So this one does have a quick turnaround time, and then the next 2 will have 2 weeks dedicated to each of them. So please, if you have questions, email me. I will post if you're not able to access this video to let me know and email me. So I hope you have a good week, and we'll be in touch soon. Thanks. Bye.